The beauty of marketing in the internet sector is that marketing's priorities change every year. But one thing that remains constant is if in most of the B2B's technology companies, it's that if marketing doesn't lead to a sale, then it doesn't count, to borrow Ruchi's terminology there, right? So it's always laser focused measurement on how your marketing investment leads to sale. But what is changing that we see is even for B2B companies, which were predominantly relying on the push-oriented marketing, so a lot of outbound marketing was done. But as you do better content, as you do more personalization, as you understand your customers better, your marketplaces better, you're able to attract customers to your brand. And when you pull customers in, when you pull new prospects in, that converts at a much more higher degree than what used to convert from a lead to a deal. So inbound marketing is getting more important. The other aspect that is kind of coming in is how the role of a chief marketing technologist is kind of evolving. So in the past, the similar role that I can call is what we used to call as the marketing operations person, the guy who had a big Excel sheet, who was very good at pulling in together pivot tables and all that. So that role is kind of changing because those roles are understanding marketing better. And they are able to come and say that, hey, if you implement this technology, it can even show you who's coming to your site, what are they doing. So before you call them out or before you engage with them, you kind of have the pattern and have a much more meaningful conversation. So the role of the marketing technologist is also evolving, as I see.
If I may just add to what he's just mentioned, there is another factor that would get evolved in terms of the entire role of who a marketing person is going to be in the future, or a marketing head for the future, is primarily he's someone who would be working very closely with the technology person in terms of how to use IT to gain more customers and personalize the product, along with the person who is going to be doing the data mining exercise to ensure that the quality of data that is collected and how it can be used is used effectively. And I think one very important role that will emerge for marketing would be that how this person or this role can focus on people and the needs of the organization rather than tools and software. Because tools and softwares will always be there, but it is the individuals within the organization, the vision of the organization, that will actually define what are the needs. How do you need to project or personalize your product? And that's where the focus ought to be there in terms of the role of marketing.
Sorry, I'll make a quick comment and I'll pass it on to you. I have a slightly different take on it. Of course, I agree with what we all are saying, but marketing is not a proprietary function to us marketers. And I think I'd like to make this statement again. It is not proprietary to us. It may be the title, it may be a CMO, it may be the head of marketing, but you know where marketing really lies? It really lies in the field. It really lies in what the field tells you. And if you listen closely, your best marketing ideas will germinate in the field. They may not germinate in the way we want to hear them or the way we'll put them out, but I think the role of a marketer today, yesterday, tomorrow, and ever so, still till the time that a CMO remains, is that marketing ideas are best collected in the field. And I think with technology, of course, that's important. I can't say not. And it's going to become more and more important as we go along. But the best ideas and the closest thing that we can do is know that marketing is only a title that we carry. It is not proprietary to us, and it is lying in the moments of truth, which are in each customer interactions. The other thing is that if we stay close to our customers and actually go out and meet with customers and actually get into moments of truth, that is probably the biggest benefit you can do for your own function, company, and organization and economy if you go on as a whole.
I agree with Ruchi here. So as a marketeer, we have the first work that we have is with the consumer. So to understand the consumer better, data can only give us this much. We have to go and talk to them. There are so many insights that would not come to us if we do not go out and meet the consumers personally. The second thing that the marketing function has to do is, what happens is while we go about doing our work, we forget that we have a certain objective towards the organization. So there are strategic objectives. The way I work internally in the organization is the organization's strategic objectives have to tie in with the marketing objectives. Now, the organization's objective for a particular year could be particularly completely towards sales. Now, if that is the case, the marketing objectives should be aligned to it, and if it's a short-term goal to achieve those sales, then the marketing interventions should be targeted at a short-term, impacting the short-term goal. So ROI is something that a marketeer definitely has to look into. Any intervention that we do, we need to ensure that a rupee being spent in marketing intervention gives us a 1.5 or a 2 rupees back to the organization.
It's only irony that marketing has become a department within the organizations and is considered to be a job of group of few brand managers and marketing managers to do the job. Job has become more difficult by ad agencies and BTL agencies coming with one idea which is being sold from organization to organization, and it's about who is going to bet money on it. I think the big question here, because I recently set up marketing function for Cargill India, a big question used to be internally, what is the need of marketing in this organization? So, is it to do with business? Is it to do with sales? Is it to do with communication? And the biggest reason for marketing to exist in the organization is to enhance the profitability and the business objective by getting better value of the money being spent in the market. So if marketing is not able to do that, then that's the biggest failure of marketeers. And while there will be newer ways to do that, there is technology, there is personalization, there is product, innovation, everything will be. But it's all about connecting back to business objective. And I think increasingly, that boundary of marketing as a department is going away is what I have been seeing within the organizations. So increasingly, marketing-led organizations are being promoted because that helps you get better bang for the money which you have spent. That's the future of marketeers.
I think I'm the last one, so I can summarize as well. I think from mass production to customized production to personalization, it's a long journey. To my mind is, if we are looking for a personalization and creating a differentiation by a marketer or by an organization and charging value to that customer, it's important we need to involve the consumer in all your interaction or during the development of the product. Unless you don't do that, because look into an angle from the holistically view from the organization side also, because supply chain has to work, the design has to work, the production has to happen. All this unless he gets involved and he gives the right input, then everything will become very correct. Otherwise, it will be a too costly affair altogether. So how are we going to involve? So there are a lot of examples which we have slowly started seeing, whether in automobiles, high-end automobiles of course, where we have opened the customer can himself choose what color, what kind of design he is looking at and how it can be customized and personalized for his. So these are the different aspects which we'll have to go through, and it's a big journey. So I feel so we are on a right track, and the digital platform and the various avenues which we are actually following on is going to help us further. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjeev, and thank you to all of my co-panelists. It's definitely been an exciting discussion. I'm not sure how we are on time, but we are happy to open up the floor for questions. Thank you.